Hello students, welcome to the lecture on warehousing, and after this lecture we will be able to learn the following objectives. Define the concept of warehouse, understand strategic warehousing, define warehousing operations, explain warehousing ownership arrangements, describe warehouse decisions. Let us first know about warehousing. Thus the need for storage arises both for raw materials as well as finished products. Storage involves proper arrangement for preserving goods from the time of their production or purchase till the actual use. When this storage is done on a large scale and in a specified manner, it is called warehousing. The place where goods are kept is called warehouse. The person in charge of warehouse is called warehouse keeper. Warehousing refers to the activities involving storage of goods on a large scale in a systematic and orderly manner and making them available conveniently when needed. In other words, warehousing means holding or preserving goods in huge quantities from the time of their purchase or production till their actual use or sale. Warehousing is one of the important auxiliaries to trade. It creates time utility by bridging the time gap between the production and consumption of goods. The effective and efficient management of any organization requires that all its constituent elements operate effectively and efficiently as individual SBUs, facilities, and together as an integrated whole corporate. Across the supply chains, warehousing is an important element of activity in the distribution of goods from raw materials and work in progress through to finished products. It is an integral part to the supply chain network within which it operates, and as such, its roles and objectives should synchronize with the objectives of the supply chain. It is not a stand-alone element of activity, and it must not be a weak link in the whole supply chain network. Warehousing is costly in terms of human resources and of the facilities and equipments required, and its performance will affect directly on overall supply chain performance. Inadequate design or managing of warehouse systems will jeopardize the achievement of required customer service levels and the maintenance of stock integrity and result in unnecessarily high costs. The recent trends and pressures on supply chain logistics forever, increasing customer service levels, inventory optimization, time compression, and cost minimization have inevitably changed the structure of supply chains and the location and working of warehouses within the supply chains network. Certainly, the old concept of warehouses as goes down to store goods has been outdated. Warehouses, perhaps better referred to as distribution centers, exist primarily to facilitate the movement of materials to the end customer. Warehouses are built in all shapes and sizes, form facilities of a few thousand square meters handling modest throughputs to, despite the previous comments, large capital intensive installations with storage capacities in the 1 lakh pallet plus range and very high hundreds of pallets per hour throughputs. However, the concept of throughput rather than storage and the pressure to optimize inventory with improved customer service level have also seen the development of distribution centers that do not hold stock, the stockless depot, such as transshipment depots with more cross-docking operations. We need different types of goods in our day-to-day life. We may buy some of these items in bulk and store them in our house. Similarly, businessmen also need a variety of goods for their use. Some of them may not be available all the time. Take the example of a sugar factory. It needs sugar cane as raw material for production of sugar. You know that sugar cane is produced during a particular period of the year. Since sugar production takes place throughout the year, there is a need to supply sugarcane continuously. But how is it possible? Here, storage of sugarcane in sufficient quantity is required. Again, after production of sugar, it requires some time for sale or distribution.
The Dynamic Picking Automat SPMOT by SSI Schaefer automatically merges all required products to a total order. The close vicinity of replenishment storage and product dispensing, as well as dense storage in product channels, serves to achieve economic space utilization. SPMOT provides immediate access to a product rate of up to 180,000 pieces per hour. Cesifar achieves an average of 240,000 picks per day. As the energy consumption of the SPMOT depends on requirements, it is environmentally friendly and minimizes current cost.
Let's talk about the concept of warehouse. Warehouse is a storage structure constructed for the protection of the quality and quantity of the stored produce. The need for a warehouse arises due to the time gap between production and consumption of products. Warehousing or storage refers to the holding and preservation of goods until they are dispatched to the consumers. By bridging this gap, storage creates time utility. There is a need for storing the goods so as to make them available to buyers as and when required. Storage enables a firm to carry on production in anticipation of demand in future. Warehouses enable the businessmen to carry on production throughout the year and sell their products whenever there is adequate demand. Need for warehouses arise also because some goods are produced only in a particular season but are demanded throughout the year. Similarly, certain products are produced throughout the year but demanded only during a particular season. Let's discuss some important types of warehouses. Private warehouses. These warehouses are licensed by the government to accept imported goods for storage until the payment of customs duty. Big business firms which need large storage capacity on a regular basis and who can afford money, construction and maintain their private warehouses. A big manufacturer or wholesaler may have a network of his own warehouses in different parts of the country. The private warehouses are licensed to private persons and only the goods imported by or on behalf of the licensee are stored in such warehouse. Public warehouses. These warehouses are a specialized business establishment that provides storage facilities to the general public for a certain charge. It may be owned and operated by an individual or a cooperative society. It works under a license from the government. They are generally located near the junctions of railways, highways and waterways. They therefore provide excellent facilities for the easy receipt, dispatch, loading and unloading of goods. They are very important in the marketing of agricultural products. A public warehouse is also known as duty-paid warehouse. Public warehouses are very useful to the business community as they can meet their storage needs easily and economically by making use of the public warehouse without heavy investment. The public warehouses' receipts are good collateral securities for borrowings. Bonded warehouses. These warehouses are licensed by the government to accept imported goods for storage until the payment of customs duty. They are located near the ports. They are either operated by the government or work under the control of customs authorities. The warehouse is required to give an undertaking or bond that it will not allow the goods to be removed without the consent of the custom authorities. The goods are held in bond and cannot be withdrawn without paying the customs duty. Such warehouses are very helpful to importers and exporters. If an importer is unable to pay customs duty immediately after the arrival of goods, he can store the goods in a bonded warehouse. Goods lying in a bonded warehouse can be packaged, graded and branded for the purpose of sale. Contract warehouse. It is a third type of warehouse ownership classification, has the attributes of both private and public warehouses. Benefits of warehousing are: warehouses enable storage of goods when their supply exceeds demand and by releasing them when the demand is more than immediate productions. This on one hand ensures a regular supply of goods in the market, and on the other hand it helps to stabilize prices by matching supply with demand. Warehouses provide for safe custody of goods. Businessmen can thus minimize the risks to goods from loss, damage, fire, theft, etc. Perishable products can be preserved in cold storage. Also, the goods kept in a warehouse are generally insured. A warehouse provides facilities for processing, packing, blending, grading, etc. of the goods for the purpose of sale. The prospective buyers can inspect the goods kept in a warehouse. Warehouses provide a receipt to the owner of goods for the goods kept in the warehouse. The owner can borrow money against the security of goods by making an endorsement on the warehouse receipt. By keeping the imported goods in a bonded warehouse, a businessman can pay customs duty in installments. Let's talk about strategic warehousing. Storage has always been an important aspect of economic development. For manufacturers, strategic warehousing offered a way to reduce holding or dwell time of materials and parts. On the outbound side of manufacturing, warehouses can be used to create product assortments for customer shipment. An important charge in warehousing is maximum flexibility. Ideally, a warehouse will simultaneously provide economic and service benefits. Economic benefits of strategic warehousing are consolidation and break bulk. The economic benefits of consolidation and break bulk are to reduce transportation cost by using warehouse capability to increase shipment economies of scale. Assortment. The basic benefit of assortment is to reconfigure freight as it flows from origin to destination. Three types of assortments are cross-docking, mixing, and assembly are widely used in logistical systems. Postponement. Warehouses can also postpone commitment to final product configuration by completing final packaging, labeling, and light manufacturing. Postponement provides two economic benefits. First, risk is minimized. Second, total inventory can be reduced by using inventory of the base product to support multiple customers' labeling and package requirements. Stockpiling. The direct economic benefit of stockpiling is to accommodate seasonal production on demand. Stockpiling provides an inventory buffer which allows production efficiencies within the constraints imposed by material sources and consumers. Reverse logistics. Reverse logistics is concerned with controlled and regular inventory. Controlled inventory consists of hazardous materials and product recalls that have potential consumer health or environmental considerations. The service benefits of strategic warehousing are: warehouse service can provide benefits through enhanced revenue generation. When a warehouse is primarily justified on service, the supporting rationale is that sales can be increased in part by such logistical performance. Spot stocking. Spot stocking is typically used to support market distribution. Rather than maintaining inventory in a warehouse year-round or shipping to customers direct From manufacturing plants, responsiveness in peak selling periods can be enhanced through temporary inventory positioning in strategic markets. Full line stocking. The full line stocking warehouse is more often restricted to a few strategic locations and operates year-round. Full line stocking warehouses improve service by reducing the number of suppliers that a customer must deal with. The combined assortments also make economical larger shipments possible. Product support. Production support warehouses stock inventory to support manufacturing operations. Safety stocks on items purchased from outside vendors may be justified because of long lead times, potential supply discontinuity, and significant variations in usage rates. In production support warehousing, average inventory is higher and turnover is lower. Market presence. While the market presence factor is a frequently discussed strategy, little solid research exists to confirm or refute its existence. In addition, more reliable transportation and technology-based order processing are closing the response time gap regardless of distance. The key concepts and points of strategic warehousing are warehouse functionality, economic benefits, consolidation and break bulk, assortment, postponement, stockpiling, reverse logistics, service benefits, spot stocking, full line stocking, product support, market presence. Issues of application. While effective logistics system should not be designed to hold inventory for extended times, there are occasions when inventory is justified on the basis of cost and service. Let's now talk about warehousing operations. In a multiple warehouse, the warehousing operations can either be centralized or decentralized. In decentralized warehousing operations, each warehouse is considered as a separate entity. Thus, each warehouse will have a separate safety stock. There will be orders from lower warehouse to the upper warehouse, and there will be in-transit stocks. Each warehouse will optimize inventory individually. This type of decentralizing will be advantageous for the following situations. The transaction of goods is very high. The advantages of such system are: this prevents obsolescence and also prevents accumulation of surplus materials, and this offers service where it is needed. But the system has the disadvantages of having high running cost due to increased stock and personnel in each warehouse and due to handling of more information. In a centralized system of warehousing operations, order processing, storing of safety stocks, and control stock movements will be done centrally by a central warehouse. The important requirement for this centralized system is a well-established information system. In such a centralized system, the central warehouse will have to do the additional record keeping and decision making required in a branch warehouse operation. The central warehouse with these above informations will have to make decisions about when and how much to reorder from the factory. Storage systems. The type of materials passing through warehouses varies enormously with different sizes, weights, shapes, levels of fragility, and hazard characteristics. A major benefit of unit loads such as pallets is that they enable the use of standard storage systems and handling equipment irrespective of what is handled. The key factors influencing the choice of a storage system are the nature and characteristics of the goods and unit loads held, the effective utilization of building volume horizontal and vertical, good access to stock, compatibility with information system requirements, maintenance of stock condition and integrity, personal safety, overall system cost. Other cost elements that could be affected by the choice of system include space, land, building and building services, fire protection, handling equipment including maintenance, staff, information management systems. Fixed and random stock location. The effective storage capacity of a given installation is influenced by whether individual product lines are held in fixed and dedicated locations or whether any product line can be located randomly in any available storage location. Palletized storage systems. Block staking. Block storage does not use any storage equipment. Loaded pallets are placed directly on the floor and built up in stacks, one pallet on top of another to a maximum stable height. The pallet loads must be capable of carrying the superimposed pallets, and the top of each load should be flat enough to provide a stable base for the next pallet. Drive-in and drive-through racking. Although this is a racked storage system, it is operationally similar to block storage. There should only be one product line in each row, and the effective utilization of the pallet positions is about 70%. Pushback racking. This type of racking is a comparatively recent development. Like drive-in racking, it gives high density storage and can be built to any height up to the maximum lift height of the lift trucks accessing it. Adjustable pallet racking, APR. Adjustable pallet racking is probably the most widely used type of pallet racking and offers free access to every pallet held. It can be built to match the lift height of any forklift truck. APR is a flexible, versatile storage system which gives excellent stock access. It is simple in concept, easily laid out, and damaged parts are easily replaced. It can be suitable for fast-moving and slow-moving stock and for product lines with high or low levels of palletized stock holding. Double deep racking. If some loss of totally free access to stock can be accepted, although not nearly as severe as in block, drive-in or pushback storage, space utilization can be improved using double deep racking. Powered mobile racking. Powered mobile racking is effectively single deep APR with the racking except the end or outer rows mounted on electrically powered base frames. Pallet live storage. Pallet live storage systems are suitable for very fast moving product lines. They can provide effective order picking regimes which automatically refill empty locations and also provide physical separation between picking and replenishment operations. Small item storage systems. The storage systems used for small items, shelving, tote bins, drawer units, dynamic systems, mobile and live storage, mechanized systems, carousels and mini loads, centralized versus decentralized warehousing are. If a warehousing strategy is used and one has to decide whether to select a centralized or a decentralized system. In centralized warehousing, a single warehouse serves the whole market, while in decentralized warehousing, the market is divided into different zones, each of which is served by a different smaller warehouse. Decentralized warehousing leads to reduced lead times since warehouses are much closer to customers. On the other hand, centralized warehousing is characterized by lower facility costs because of larger economies of scale. Let's talk about the warehouse decisions. Decision warehouse stores execution traces in a database. The trace contains information on how a decision was made. It records the executed rule flow, the path of executed rule flow tasks, and the rules fired. Default use of decision warehouse are: The following steps are necessary to store a trace of a rule set execution in Decision Warehouse. Complete the installation of a rule execution server and Decision Warehouse on your application server. Typically, the database schema for Rule Execution Server and Decision Warehouse are created through the Rule Execution Console Installation Manager. Enable rule set execution monitoring by setting the following rule set properties to true. Execute the rule set using Decision Validation Services, a client application, or a hosted transparent decision service. The execution trace data is written to the default Decision Warehouse database. View the stored results in Decision Warehouse. Now in the end, let us summarize what we have learnt in this lecture. Warehousing is one of the important auxiliaries to trade. It creates time utility by bridging the time gap between production and consumption of goods. Warehousing is costly in terms of human resources and of the facilities and equipments required, and its performance will affect directly on overall supply chain performance. Warehouse is a storage structure constructed for the protection of the quality and quantity of the stored produce. Strategic warehousing offered a way to reduce holding or dwell time of materials and parts. Adjustable pallet racking is probably the most widely used type of pallet racking and offers free access to every pallet held.